Okay, here we go. It's Gina Ritchie here with Susan Hum. I'm very grateful to have joined me. Thank you, Susan, for joining me again for another Friday Chit Chat, springing into our superpowers and the master that you are at not only spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence, and also helping people balance the masculine and feminine energies and understand their masculine and feminine energies. That for me was a huge aha when I started to really understand the difference and how I might have played in, to things that went on with my former husband and how I could have done things differently. And being in the space that we are now with the quarantine, I want to invite you to just speak about the balancing of these two emotions and what might be going on behind closed doors. How some people that are watching that, might be feeling right now, and what some tips they can do to handle it better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I mean, if we're talking, thanks, Gina. Yeah, it's a huge issue now because it's all tied to the way we communicate, right? Male and female energy really influences the way we articulate ourselves, right? So as women, we talk around things. We talk around, and we even when we think we're direct, but it's almost like this nurturing side of women, which we're born with. You can't deny how we're born, is that women are born as nurturers, right? And caregivers. And we have been given the brunt and the role of taking over the world and saving everybody and saving everything, our family. And the men basically, like cavemen, are out there to go out, bring home the dough or the food and hunt and bring, which is very simple and non-complex in their role because they just go out there, bring home the money, and we do everything else. That has been the tradition of what male and female energy is all about. So therefore, the men do not complicate things any more than what they are responsible of doing, which is making sure everybody's okay. Whereas women, it's like saving. Yes. It's all about saving. It's like, it's my job to save everybody. And men are like, hey man, I'm just saving my family. And really, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So when we're not able to see another person for who they are, which is don't make a man a woman, and the men don't make the women a man, which means, yes, sometimes when we're emotional, which is part of our chemical makeup, right? Estrogen is estrogen. It's called hormones.
Oh, those. Yes.
So just understanding the basic makeup of the two beings is critical, right? So, but as women though, I mean, men are not complex. They just want everything to be direct and simple. Don't put too many words on a very simple thing like, I need you right now to just smile and give me a hug. Rather than, I'm not happy. Oh my gosh, it's like these kids are driving me crazy and you're never around. No, all he wanted to hear was, can you just give me a hug?
Right. That's all he needed. That's what he needed. The direct access to what you're looking for. Not like 400 things you want to say to get around to what.
Yeah. But that's not our fault. So I think it's for both men and women to just understand each other as the basic nature of who we are. That's it, right? But I think as women though, because we have a posse, we have friends and we bitch and we spend all day bitching, and then really we didn't get to any more simple than just bitching and making it even more complicated. And men, they don't have an outlet. Maybe they do, maybe most men don't, because there's a different level of communication there. So, and also there's a bravado and there's sort of like the reputation and all that kind of stuff. So men do not communicate the same way. So when we're talking about male and female energy, when you communicate as a woman, as if you want more awareness and more conscious, you have to respect the other person, that they do not communicate like you.
Right.
And that goes the same with even the women friends that we have, the circles that we run with. It's like, why are we saving each other? Why are we sacrificing each other like as if they're our kids? So we're sacrificing ourselves for our kids. And then we're going out there, we're sacrificing ourselves for our girlfriends. And then by the time you come home, do you think you have anything to give to your husband or boyfriend or whatever the heck? Like, we need to bring some of that male energy and really utilize it, because it really does make life a lot simpler. So over the last 25 years, I've only worked with men in the corporate world. And I've really studied with how to get things done very quickly without my emotions getting into the way.
That's it right there. Like, that's it. If everybody could take that home into their partnership, right? Even with their kids, with their male children, or, masculine children, it's so straightforward when you look at it that way.
It is.
Yeah.
You never have a man worry about whether or not they're worthy of making money, right? Like, they're never thinking about, well, I gotta help this person, so I'm not gonna think about money. Like, honestly, the male energy is very business, very logical, very strategic, because it's always a straight line, right? And so as women, that's why women that go into successful careers, I had to go into the corporate world to learn how to be strategic, to learn how to set goals, to learn how to live within a structure, a system, and to navigate through a system that we don't create. You see, as women in the homes, we create our system. We run the home.
Yeah. Right.
But it's not a business. Maybe we should be paid for it. Maybe it would be better. We should run it like a business. But the whole thing is, there's such a thing as life strategies. Right. And I find that when you don't exercise the male energy within us, we're not living strategically. We're reacting all the time.
And that's so important. That's one of my biggest lessons in the past several years, learning how to live more strategically with intention, and not like, juggle all these different things without having an end result. Does that make sense? Without.
Yeah, for sure. Because we don't know the purpose of why we're doing everything. We don't know the purpose of why things happen for us or to us. If you don't know what you're waking up to every day and what you're trying to achieve in that given day to achieve an overall goal, then why are things happening? Why are we saying yes to something? Why are we saying no to something? Everything becomes one. So that's why the male energy is very logical, very straight line. Don't complicate it, right? And the only way is, men are typically very goal oriented. They have one role in life.
Right.
To bring home the dough, to make sure your household is happy, to make sure the woman is happy. And usually the relationships that I've worked with in terms of coaching, relationship coaching, when things go downhill, it's because the man no longer can deliver his role, because everything he does is not being appreciated. Right. So therefore he gives up.
Right. That's why they say, I can't do anything right. I can't do anything right. Right. That's what tends to happen. And we as women, and this is something it took a long time to learn, and more so after my marriage ended, that I was able to look back and go, wow, I could have really done things differently. It may have been different. It may not have been different, depending on the emotional wellness and the drive for it to be on both sides. But it's what I've learned is how we as women, we just have all these things on our mind that we want to say, and we want to do, and we want to ask them how they are, right as soon as they walk in the door. How was your day? What are you, are you ready for dinner? Here's this, here's that. And they need time to just take a couple of minutes to unwind and take off their suit or whatever, for instance, before they have time to sort of sit down, or if you get in the car and you're going to somewhere, right? And they're driving, they're going right to the restaurant. They're trying to get to a restaurant. They're focused on the restaurant. We get in the car and have 400 things on our mind that we want to say and ask for, and talk about the trip to Hawaii next year, and talk about the new house, and talk about the cabinets. It's too much for them, is what I've learned. And but it's instinctual for us. So
yes.
Right. I'd love to talk about that, because too, I don't want to make it wrong. It's just instinctual for the two different, energies.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's okay to be like that, because men find it endearing anyways, because we are women. I mean, we are what we are. But we just got to recognize when we don't impose ourselves unfairly on the man. Because if they came home and spent the entire time talking about their business and you didn't have any time to talk about the kids and your day or whatever like that and your problems, you wouldn't be happy either. So one of the things I've really learned, especially in relationships, is we make an appointment with each other. If we need to talk about things that are contentious and things that are serious, then we have to respect. Like, I can't walk into my husband's office and say, oh my God, I got it. Like, it breaks his stride, right? If he's in the middle of doing something, right?
Yeah.
And so that, you see, and men don't tend to do that. They sort of tippy toe around us a little bit more, but the male energy really is all about try to be as logical as you can. Try. If you've always been emotional, you act upon your emotions. Try to step back from yourself, right? Because that is how you run your life. Even when you bring in the male energy within your own operation, you will be able to achieve your fulfillment a lot faster, your own purpose a lot faster too, right? And we fall into the trap of expecting everybody else to save us because we're saving everybody else.
Right. Especially as mothers. Yeah. Wives and mothers.
Yeah. Friends. We do that to friends, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So the male energy in me is I never allow myself to be enabled. I really try not to allow myself to be enabled. So therefore, I don't want to be enabled. I want to be told straight up what it is so that I don't have to live in that emotional state of going nowhere, because emotions are really radical.
Yes, and generally women feel them a lot more, more powerfully.
Well, if you don't know how to put words to a feeling, that's what creates an emotion. An emotion is the compilation of thoughts and perceptions around a feeling. So the emotions, there is a story to it. A feeling, there's no story, it's just a feeling. When you create your story around the feeling, that's what creates your emotions, because it's tied to your beliefs, but it doesn't mean it's real. Right? It's just a story that we told ourselves to justify something that doesn't make sense. So can you imagine when we're trying to communicate that with men? And so the male energy is sort of like, okay, so are you happy or are you not? It's yes or no. Everything is a yes or no. Everything. It's like stay or go, yes or no. It's like, that's all it is. It's like, geez, life is great. That's why I really had to master simplification.
You did, and I love how you share it so much and so masterfully with the world, because it really is. It's so important that we start to really gain these tools. And right now we're all most of us are stuck in quarantine and living a simple life right now, right? Essentially juggling things in the house, but you're home. So being able to learn how to simplify what emotional ups and downs are happening between the family members, not just like husband, wife, male, female. Like, I know how much this has helped me just with my son's relationship, and understanding that, it's black or white. Like, I don't need to create, I don't need to talk about all these different things or ask him all these different scenarios. It's this or that, right? And
they're so simple. Having boys is so simple. It really is. I mean, it doesn't make it easier, but it is more simple because they really don't require a lot of words.
Right. And they let go of things. It's like, it's gone after that. So, and I'm not making us wrong, ladies. I just, what I want, my intention is just that we all understand each other a little better in the world, so that we can exist more powerfully and more in a loving space. And you worked with, like you said, for 25 years in a corporate environment with men to understand and be strategic and be, simple, learning how to live a simple, more direct life.
Well, yeah, I wanted to achieve my goals by a certain age. I want to achieve my goals by the age of 40, right? That's what I want. And so I had to be very focused, right? And but I am a woman. I still have emotions. So I really had to study what makes me waste time. Why do I waste time? When am I wasting time? What am I getting out of everything I do? how to analyze results, how to analyze whether I'm going in the right way or wrong way so that I could change very quickly. And you see, the thing is, the female energy is all about holding on to everything.
Right.
Right. Because it's our identity, whatever it is. It's our identity. I used to say to people, God, I've divorced you before I even met you. Right. Like, to me, it's like, I am so ready to move and flow with whatever the world dealt me. Right. That I can't hold on to it. Gripping is never a good thing, because when you're gripping, you're not growing.
That makes so much sense. Yeah.
Right. And so the personal growth is not about the growing part. You don't have to focus on the growth. You have to focus on what you're holding on to that you're not letting go of. Right. Because it's easier to grow and look forward. It's harder to let go of things. Absolutely. So guess where the personal growth is?
In the letting go and embracing the process, moving forward, and you know, like loving the journey, but letting it go. Right. I always say, when you hold on to your past, it holds on to you. So if you're holding on to anything, it's holding on to you. It's holding you back. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And guess what's even more ridiculous? You're choosing to hold on to it. So it's like, no wonder there's so much self-sabotage and self-resentment, because no one's tying you up and making you make those choices. And I'm not saying it's easier to let go. It's not. That's the biggest thing in personal development. I don't think enough people are focusing on teaching people how to let go when they are ready. There are so many people that we work with, even in our Life Makeover Collective group and my clients over time. I think I spend 80% of our coaching on teaching them how to let go of something with grace and with peace.
That's it right there, with grace and with peace, and knowing everything and trust that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, that, you know, the unknown is future. The known is the past. So in personal development, we always teach you that you need to embrace the uncertainties, because that's where you grow. That's where you learn to tap into your intuition, the inner knowing that knows everything.
Well, goes back to what you said before, knowing what's just, you know, we don't know what's right and wrong. And then we beat ourselves up if we think we make a wrong decision, but it's not really a wrong decision. It's just the journey. It was just part of your path. Right. Yes. And so, but feeling what's right, that's where I hope people can start to tap into that more, what feels like the right path to take.
Yeah, it you know what, it is the journey to personal development, because that's what I call conscious living. When you are conscious and you are not reacting, you are working through it without being emotional and judgmental about it, because the judgment creates the inability to deal with it.
Yes. Right. The gripping, the judgment, and the gripping.
Well, because if you don't grip onto something, you know, even if it doesn't serve you, then you need to learn how to grip onto something that's uncertain, that is not visible to you, which is called inspiration and your story going forward. It's your story. It's your goal. It's your dream. You need to hold on to that stronger than the grip of your old identity.
Yes. That right there. That's one of the most powerful things we can do, right, Susan, is to create the story of the life we want to have while being able to stay present.
Yes.
Know, right? Not like getting into a vicious cycle. Like, if I don't get there, it's having the dream, the vision. You can speak to this.
Once you know you want it, that's all you need to know.
Right.
And the moment you said, I did this with Tina, like, seriously, 2 weeks ago, she goes, oh my gosh, Susan, I got it now. I have to meet the male you. And she said it with such a centeredness that I'm like, oh, be careful. It's going to happen. It's about to happen. But we just let it go, because finally she's aligned. A few days later, literally, she met the male me.
Oh my goodness.
3 days later, she met the male me. And he started saying things that I say, but he doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know me.
That's incredible. I love
that fast. I think what I really want to do is for people to understand that the male and female energy is one thing. all you need to know is you always get what you want.
Right. Good or bad.
So make sure everything you want is the beautiful everything, not the past. You don't want to repeat the past. You can't repeat the past.
Yeah,
the past is only there to show you what decisions you need to make to move forward. It's not to keep you in the past.
Right. Yep. That's it. That's the perfect way to really to end this call and take that forward with you, because we don't, it just doesn't serve you to stay stuck in the past at all. And speaking of Tina, you brought your partner up, which, people watching this may not know that she's your partner in Life Makeover Collective, and then also in Love in Sync, which is something you're creating, an online dating network for people in personal development, which is great for anybody out there that's watching, that's single, that's coming soon. So go to the Love in Sync Facebook page at least to sign up, right? But tell us a little bit about what you're doing so that the people watching can know where to find out more about that, and the Life Makeover Collective that is really a wonderful place for ladies to connect.
So. Yeah, we started the Love in Sync dating app development about 1.5 years ago. So now we're about to launch, and it's catered to only people in personal development, because we want to create more conscious relationships within the world of personal development. And we just found it was so strange that in personal development, you're supposed to achieve self-love and everything, but yet love is so hard to find. Like, there are so many singles. How can that be? Everybody's focused on love and self-love and everything, but yet there are so many singles. It just doesn't make sense. So we want to elevate a conscious relationship. So we created a dating app, which is launching next week. But in the course of our creating the app, so many people have asked us to coach them through being ready for love, right? Because we're still holding on to the past. You can't. No wonder everybody's still single in personal development, because nobody teaches anybody to let go of the past before you can get something in the future. Of course, it's scary to go to the future if you have. So we've created programs to bring clarity through understanding your heart, right? And that's what I've worked on since my 20s. For 25 years, I learned how to translate the heart language into words so that you understand very clearly what is going on, who you are, why you are the way you are, so that you don't walk into relationships and your future with any fear. If you know who you are, that's what we call clarity. That's your truth. And that's when you attract all the most beautiful things in your life, including love. So we created the Life Makeover Collective, where we help women make more decisive actions with the clarity they need to really own who you are as a person. And before you even make decisions, instead of running on the hamster wheel, to know your purpose, to know who you are, and to know why you are about to make the decision you're about to make. That's it. And you'll see how fast things happen. Literally, one of our clients in the call just now, like within the last week, so many things have happened to her, just aligning with her truth.
It's so amazing. Just since I've met you, I'm able to see all those little, as soon as I think of something and it happens, or the person shows up in maybe a different form than I thought they would be, as, in whatever, whether that's a female friend or a female mentor, when I thought it might look a different way. It's just it's so amazing. And when you can be open to it and ready for it, it's ready for you.
That's magic.
Yeah.
You're creating magic.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really powerful when you have that clarity and that ability. So I'm grateful to be a part of it. I love being part of your Life Makeover Collective membership group. I love being a part of I'm excited for Love in Sync. That's going to be great, because I don't have time to be going out and being in the single world with people that aren't of this consciousness. For me, that's most important. It's somebody who's thinking in the same way is so important for me. So thank you so much for being here. I don't want to keep any more of your time, because thankfully I've had a lot of you for the past 2 hours of bringing so much insight to my life, and it's been amazing. And I appreciate you being here, and we will be back next week. Might be a little bit of a different time depending on what you're doing next week. Why don't you, are you going ahead with that next Friday?
Yeah, the summit. Yeah, we're going to do a Women's Truth Summit. And it's all about aligning everybody with their truth and purpose. So it's a full day of truth talks, and all the way from who we are, what that even looks like, what purpose is, how to achieve your passions. So that's going to be next Friday, May 1st. So we're going to be, and you're part of it, so we're going to be doing this talk in that summit.
That's awesome.
So we'll be announcing that very shortly.
Cool. And I will be certainly posting I'll be sharing all of the links for Susan's incredible programs, including the summit for next week. And thank you guys all so much for joining us. Thank you, Susan, for